I wanted to have a look at some like super cheap AliExpress knives. There's quite a different variety of them, and I sort of have like basically what I have here is a cleaver kitchen knife idea, and then sort of a in between utility knife thing, and then something that's kind of on the like tactical end. I don't have any folders yet, but I wanted to try them out and see how good they are, because some of these things are, well, all of them are like, they're under $15, and when you get them on sale or you combine with other orders and that, you can get them super cheap. And so I wanted to see what they actually were kind of like if they were just garbage, or like why they're cheap. I assume they produce them in such mass quantities is why they're cheap. So I'll have a look at these three here, which I picked up. They're pretty common. I don't know the exact name of each one. They probably have a little name, but if you just go to AliExpress and search knives, these are some of the ones that should pop up right away. But I'll start with actually the biggest one first, which is this one here, which is basically a butcher knife, a cleaver knife, or meat knife basically. And actually this one is very impressed with it. When I first looked at it, like some of these you can get in different colors, like sometimes they're like a polished, sometimes they're blackened, and when I first seen this and I saw this kind of pattern on the blade, I was like, I don't know, it looks kind of cheap, like it looked junky, but after I got it, it actually looks really good, in my opinion anyways. I think that pattern on there looks really neat. It does not look cheap at all. It's just maybe the way their pictures were. But I'm very impressed with this knife. It is got some heft to it. I don't have a scale or anything to weigh it on, but it has some heft behind it. It would definitely be a good cleaving knife, and it's really thick, like super thick. Obviously it's a full tang, kitchen knife. And then when you look at the handle is again really nice wood. And you could see the rivets in there, and everything is like refined. It's been smoothed down really nice. You can see the shape of the handle, and then the way it's fit, like the finish look of this knife is, even the grinds, you may be able to see in the light the way the grinds are, but they're smooth. It's sort of like you just kind of have to put up with it. It's not going to be a like $200 butcher knife or something like that. It's cheap, but this here is not, like, you cannot feel it or anything. And then it's just a standard flat grind on there. It's also right out of the box, it's super sharp. This edge, actually when it came, the little protector piece, like they have these little protector pieces on here, and it actually had busted through one of them because it was actually really sharp. But this thing is this is a really great knife. I mean, if you just need something real cheap, like you don't do a lot of, say, meat, like carving type work, this is actually a really good knife. And I mean, it could be used as a utility knife. It's, it's big enough. Like, it's really thick here. Like, I was just quite impressed. And you can see how it actually tapers down here. So this knife is excellent. I can't complain about it at all. I would say that I would take care of it, though. I believe they're all stainless steel. I would probably try and take care of this blade, though, because I bet you it would be prone to rusting after quite a while. Like, it would definitely wipe it off, and don't assume it's just like your normal kitchen knives and stuff. Like, I would look at that. Now next would be this little guy here, which is, I don't even know what kind of a knife it really is. It's sort of like, because you would hold it like this, and it's almost like for chopping fruits and vegetables and carrots and stuff like that, because like just the way you can rock the blade. But it's actually kind of a like in between utility type knife. It's got, obviously this would be a bottle opener, or like, whatever you want to use that for. And this hole here is probably just for like to lighten it slightly, and then you've got your finger hole here. You can of course you can hold it like this too. Then we've got a lanyard loop, which I like on all my knives. I think lanyard loops should be standard. The finish, like I was talking about with the other one, this one's got sort of the dark finish on it, and it's something I don't mind. It actually makes it look nicer, because when you look at the grinds make it look cheap. And with this one though, well, of course it's significantly thinner than the butcher knife. You should be able to see, like, it's significantly thinner, but it's the style of knife that it is. It's not meant to be a butcher knife, so that's perfectly fine, and it seems pretty tough. But I found that this scale here, and you'll be able to see it here, how there's a little bit of gap. It was almost like they finished the scales and they put them on, and there was a little bit of dirt underneath this, because it has just a slight, like when you grab it, you can, I don't know if you can hear that cracking. Oh yeah, you probably heard it there. But it's almost like there was something in there, and whatever was there has worked its way out, and so there's a slight little gap right here. And this rivet here, you can see it's been hammered in there, but it's not perfectly hammered. Like it's kind of like it's kind of messed up. Now I don't really care if you're a stickler for something. I mean, fine, but as cheap as this knife is, I really don't care. It doesn't make, it's not that annoying. It's a little bit annoying when you first grab it and then you hear a little cracking sound, but it's not but it isn't bad. And this is a really, like, the blade on this thing is really, like, unique, and I like this style. It is really, like, you know, different looking. And this one does have a hollow grind. If you feel the edge the way it is, it does. I'm not sure if it will show up on camera or not, but it does have a hollow grind on it, which is kind of neat too, how they've done that. You can feel it with your finger, and then it is also sharp. It's not quite as sharp as the butcher knife, but it's super sharp. The edge on these should be no problem to resharpen, because they do have that really distinct defined edge on them. But that's but this knife is really neat. There was a second one. It had a slightly different. It wasn't such a like half moon shape. It was a slightly different shape to the blade. But yeah, it's a really cool knife, this thing. And then you can see, just like with how the butcher knife, how refined it was. And then this has almost no refinement on it. It's just the shape scale. It also came with this little sheath, which I really like, because it's not like, sometimes you get these knives and they have such huge, like, I call them scabbards, because they're not even sheaths because they're so thick. But this one here is nice, really nice and soft. And then it has a loop. The loop, it might be a little bit soft and cheap, but I mean, I don't know how many times you're going to be using this thing and pulling it out of its sheath while it's on your belt, but it fits in here, fits in perfect in its little pouch there. I really like this. It's really, and of course you could just take that off and put something on, if something different on there if you wanted to. But yeah, this is a great buy too, when you consider the price. Then this one here is actually, I was really surprised at this knife, because I really hate these little cheap little, like, I guess they call them neck knives, because they always, like, they kind of remind me of, like, you know, like, I don't know, not to offend anybody, but like street people and like sort of like drug people have on them, is these little neck knives where, you know, there's a little chain. This thing actually came with one of those chains, but because I don't like them, I took the chain off of it, and you're supposed to like wear it around your neck for concealment, basically. However, when I got this one, I wanted to try it, as I like the shape of it and everything, and of course I like the price also, but I was really impressed by this thing. So you've got your, like, I don't know, I don't think it's Kydex, it's probably just plastic, but it's a pretty good, like it does click in there. I mean, I don't know, I don't want to shake it too hard, because I'm sure I could able to fly out of there if I shook it too hard. But it's got the loops for your belt, and then it did have the, if you wanted the chain, it did come with the little chain. So that's a nice piece. It does protect the blade, and the blade was all of these were in preservative. You can see it on this here, that it's just been wiped off. But the blade, it has 9CR18. That's what it says on there. Whether it is or not, I have no idea. I don't know, like, if there's a way to tell. But whether it is or isn't doesn't matter, because actually this thing, it has a real rough grind, as you can see here, and you can almost just feel the grind with your finger. But the edge is super nice. Really nice edge on it. It was fairly sharp when I got it, but then I sharpened it myself, and it holds an edge, and it's actually really nice. Like, I mean, like, it's just like, I wouldn't want to go too far with that. It is actually a really sharp, nice blade. And then it's very thick also. You can see how it goes to the point here. You can see how much of an edge has actually been relieved from here when you look at it there. Significantly thicker than this one. It should be a strong little knife. I mean, I suppose I could buy another one and like melt the handle off of it or something, because I don't know how far the tang actually goes in there, but like it feels perfectly fine. And then the handle is like, I like skinny little handles myself, and so this thing is amazing. Like, if I hold it there, you can see how from my hand, the way I hold the knife is just, for me, it's perfect. If you have larger sized hands, you probably would not like it unless you like this skinny knife, because of course I like to, you know, you could put it in your hand like this and, you know, use it like that. So you may or may not like it because it is very small, but it's got the little like jimping on here on the front and the back. It's like higher end companies and that, why don't they just look at some of these cheaper knives? Because they do it right. Because of course, if you're cutting a box open or something like that, it's perfect. If you just want to hold it like this, and you got such a nice grip on it, like it's excellent. It's got, you know, it's got what I want. And then it has the lanyard loop on it, so that's a huge plus in my opinion. You can get this in like, I guess I would call it like bare metal. I don't know how highly polished they are when they come. Like, if they're like this, which is not really polished, it's just kind of like bare metal. So this one here, there are a couple different styles of this knives. A couple of these ones, you'll recognize them by this handle style if you see them on Ali. Like, there'll be different styles, but they'll usually have this style of handle, and if it's got this style handle, it's probably like the same manufacturer, I guess. None of these have a actual manufacturer or say like a part number that you can find out who makes them, because they're just a mass-produced product. But this little guy here is actually very impressive knife. I wish if they made a bigger version of this, like, you know, sometimes they do a set where they've got the small one, then like a medium, and then a large size. I would definitely buy this if they made a larger version of it. Really great knife. So these knives here are just some AliExpress, like, cheap knives. Again, you can find them. You should be able to find them for at least under $15, and I'm talking Canadian dollars here, not US dollars. US dollars, every one of these should be around the $10 mark or significantly under that. Of course, if you're subscribed to Ali, you know they do quite a bit of sales in that, and roaming sales and coupons and stuff like that. So you could get these super cheap, and they're actually, I'm impressed by all of them. Very impressed by this one. Very impressed by this one. This one, for its price, it's good, and it's a unique little knife, but all of them seem to be alright so far. I really can't complain too much. And so, really, thank you for watching.